All right, y'all. Before we dive in, a quick heads up.
This show is raw, real, and definitely not rated PG.
We're talking about adult themes, sexual content, and the kind of stuff you probably don't want blasting through your speakers at work or around your kids.
So grab some headphones, pour your drink of choice, and get comfy.
Oh, and just so we're clear, we are not licensed therapists, counselors, or sex couches. Sex coaches,
Sex coaches.
not sex couches.
We're just a couple of people sharing our lives, experiences, and sexy adventures, and ethical non-monogamy. So with that, pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris.
And today, if you're joining us, if you followed our podcast before, or if you follow us on TikTok or any of the social medias, you'll realize that Friday was my birthday. August 1st was my birthday, and it has been quite the weekend. And so what you're catching up here with is you're catching up on what we experienced over my birthday weekend.
So I had a big bash planned. We've talked about this a few months ago, and he told me what he wanted, and he wanted to invite our community, and he also wanted a house party. And I said, okay. So we have a friend in the lifestyle, and I reached out to him, and he gave us his little link to Airbnb, and we're going to be posting that also.
Yeah. So we're going to have his information to the Airbnb listed.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, it is in Bulverde, Texas. So if you are interested in going out there, it's not too far from San Antonio. It's really a hill country area.
Yes.
So nice place.
Yeah, it's very nice. So I planned that, and then he wanted to start at the club on his birthday. So we gathered a group of friends.
Yeah. So essentially from start to finish, I know that I have bad anxiety. For those of you who don't know, I do. I have bad anxiety. People are always surprised by that because I have a podcast and because we socialize with everybody in the lifestyle. People don't seem to realize I do have social anxiety. But what I'm realizing is practice makes perfect. Handling social events, the more you do it, easier it gets.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so I said several months back, I said, I want to do something different for my birthday this time. I never celebrate myself. But this time around, I think I want to set up an event, a lifestyle event, and I want to just do an open invite, whoever wants to come, and let's get an Airbnb and just throw this big old party.
Yeah.
So it was really something that I have been dying over because of my anxiety. I haven't really been looking forward to it. Everybody keeps asking me, oh, you're looking forward to your big birthday bash? And I was like, no, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that was a bit nutty for me going into the weekend.
Yeah.
But I tried to cool out. There were 6 of us total that were the primary crew.
Yeah. There were 6 of us, and Friday after work, we loaded up the van.
Yeah.
Picked up our girlfriend, loaded her stuff, and we went to the Airbnb.
Yeah, we checked in probably about a little after 7 p.m. on Friday.
We already had friends there.
Yeah.
So we had a couple already that met us at the Airbnb.
Very good friends of us were there already. And then if you've seen our unicorns episode, Jessica, who was a guest on the show, actually joined us as well all weekend long. And so she was a part of that 6-man crew.
And I guess we should say who else was part of it.
Yeah,
they would love that.
Yeah, of course. So, they're probably going to be on the show at some point. But
our good friend Lizzie and Box, they were there. They are a delight.
They're a great energy. They're a lot of fun to be around.
They really made everybody that was there with us.
Everybody in that main crew was really just a good vibe.
They helped. They did everything and anything they could to make the situation, because I was trying to host it all, but I didn't really want to. And so everybody that we had with us took the reins, and one was cleaning the kitchen, One was making sure people knew where and what everything was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really big help
Yeah.
having them there.
And Friday we all went to the club.
We did. So we
That was
checked
our
in.
first time.
That was their first time.
That was
yeah,
their
at the-
first
at
time
that club.
at that one.
So we checked into the Airbnb. Everybody changed and showered and did all that fun stuff.
I'm sure
And,
you saw pictures.
Yeah, we were at the Airbnb by 9, a little after 9. I like to get there early so that we could get a couch and be all set up, and we did. It was a slow night at the club, which was actually pretty cool because if it's really packed, I can't enjoy myself.
And
It's a
Sir
little
here,
distracting.
Sir here was with all his harems.
My harem of girls.
Yeah.
You got a gum wrapper on your leg there.
Look at that.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought of that. All the ladies, including you,
Yes.
that were with us Friday night, I have slept with. Don't slut shame. And
Don't yuck your yum.
don't yuck my yum. As if you saw them, they'd be yum to you too. They attractive women. What am I going to do? And they're there for me, for my birthday. They're there to have a good time. So obviously, I am a hypersexual being.
No.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And so, yeah, I'm like, here we are at the sex club.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they're dressed appropriately for that venue. And I was feeling it. So I was like, okay, let's go to the back. So I started with my lovely wife, as I do all the time when we go to the club. She's my go-to. And we're back there for a while. We come back, we're hanging out. And then before you know it, I have to spend a little bit of time with my girlfriend because she's my girlfriend. She's our girlfriend. So yeah, and we were back to the back again. And then I cycled through the ladies. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It sounds trashy. It is what it is. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to be apologetic. Sorry, not sorry. Because
With
I enjoy
consent.
it.
Everybody
Of course.
already knew. And
I'm not El Guapo. I'm not going to take somebody's flower. It's like, okay, you want to join me? Let's have a plethora of sex.
It was fun. The club was very low key on Friday, and we did have friends come over. So we had a few more. There's about maybe 10, maybe 12 of us in that little area that we sit in, and I think it was fun. We weren't there very long. We decided
we left probably close to 1.
Yeah, and we all decided, okay, it was time to go. We had a whole house.
Airbnb house.
And this house is huge.
It was a big one, yeah.
Like, it's not this little small 3-bedroom home. It has 6 areas. And so we were like, let's just go.
Yeah.
And we all drove in together to the club, and then we all drove back home.
Right.
And we got in our PJs, took off our makeup, just relaxed. And we just sat there and chit-chatted for a bit, recapped the night and what was going to happen the next day.
I had some more sex.
Some more sex.
Before going to bed. Now, I want to bring that up because I found that interesting. This is an hour-long show, sometimes more. So we're going to.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna do the whole thing.
We're just going to go into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Why not?
Everybody listened to if you listen to the beach takeover thing, we had a little bit of, I wouldn't say issues, just we didn't talk about what we were going to talk about again, like what we were going to do that night. And we did, but we did, what would you call it? Sorry, I think I'm suffering from cedar fever. What is that called?
I don't really know a name for it, but essentially what took place was what happened
was one of our little rules.
I mean, we did a show where we talked about reconnecting. Yeah. A lot of people need to reconnect or reclaim or whatever the process, whatever you name it. It's a reconnection of the couples after you've had your fun. And we always have a reconnecting after either of us have played with anybody else.
Yeah.
But there have been times where we've been too tired and we've just gone to sleep. We haven't had sex. We didn't do that reconnecting. We just went to sleep and then we had sex in the morning. So I had this very full night. I had sex with her at least 2 or 3 times in the night when we were at the club.
But he didn't orgasm.
But I didn't finish. So here's the thing is when we go to the club, I always start with her and I always finish with her. And normally she will edge me throughout the entire time that we're there because she wants me to still stay in the mood and kind of be on the edge, but then also she doesn't know who she's going to play with later, and you don't want to taint anything. You don't want to taint anybody's good time, if you know what I'm saying. So that's the idea, is we have our little fun, but I never finish until we're done for the end of the night. So I went through and spent my time with my ladies and my wife several times throughout the night. And then everybody was tired. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, let's go ahead and go. And everybody was real quick to grab their things, go change, and we left. So Pris did not finish me off at the club as she normally does.
No.
And so we left and we went back to the Airbnb. When we went back to the Airbnb, I had more sex with other ladies.
Not with me.
But not with you. When I came downstairs to come to the room, the light was out and you were already in bed and you were ready to go to sleep. And we briefly had a little conversation, but you showed more signs of cuddling than you did sexual need.
Uh-huh.
And so I just assumed you were tired and we went to sleep.
Wow, you took the cuddling as annoyed. I was annoyed. How funny.
You were annoyed. And see, you didn't express that.
I did not. No, I did not.
You didn't express that. And so this is a good example of when communication just falls flat. And even with us, we've been doing this for 14, 15 years. And even still, there are moments where communication's just going to fall flat. There's really nothing you can do about it.
No,
as good as you try to be.
Yeah, no, I was annoyed and I didn't know, because I was like, he knows the routine. Why do I have to explain the routine to him? And so I guess both. Yeah. You should have known
it
the
was
routine.
It was both of us, realistically. Now, I didn't know that I had to communicate with you because, frankly, everything felt like on the up and up. I didn't get any bad feelings from you.
No.
So you cuddled with me throughout the night and at the beginning of the night, and that's what I took it as, is cuddling is good. She must be tired. Let's go to sleep. I could have easily had sex with you a couple of times, but you seemed tired.
Yeah.
So then in the morning when we got up, you were still sleeping. I stayed in bed for as long as I can. I'm an early riser, so I'm like, okay, let's get this day started. And I
had lots to do anyway.
Yeah. So I got up, I went to the bathroom, I started the shower, and I'm in the shower, and I hear you walk in, and you're in there, and I'm fine. I finish up in the shower, and we're there in front of the mirror and the sink doing our morning routine. And you look like something's wrong.
Yeah.
And 3 times I ask you, is everything okay? Yeah, no, I'm fine. Everything's good. Okay.
I was trying to process the situation and not make a big deal about it because I tend sometimes to be like very cold. And I can be, when I'm thinking about things and processing things, I can be really like, I don't want to talk to you
kind of standoffish.
Yeah, and I don't say those words. You can just feel it. You can tell
you don't have any conversation. You space out.
Yeah.
You're in a different place. And I know that there's something wrong. When she does this, I know something's wrong. And when she says, oh, nothing's wrong, that's upsetting to me because I'm like, okay, I know something's wrong and you're just not communicating with me.
Yeah.
And that's upsetting in and of itself. If I have a problem, I'm going to tell you. Of course, what she did, I have done before. So I can't talk too much crap about it because I've done it. Yeah. I'm like, she should be reading the room and you weren't reading the room. And then I was all upset the next morning and we talked about it.
Yeah. And so I didn't say anything and he was like, what's wrong? I said, I'm trying to process this. But I knew that if I said it a certain way, he was going to say something back. And then it was just going to go into a big ball of disagreements. And so I was like, I'm trying to process this. And he was like, okay. And so I was already annoyed then. And so I told him what I was processing and he was like, I knew it and this and that. And I was like,
it wasn't a good situation. Yeah. I was already annoyed that you hadn't fessed up in the beginning. Right. And you were annoyed because my reaction wasn't that great.
Yeah. And so he went to the living room. I finished doing what I was doing. We got a little bit of break from each other because sometimes you just need that.
You need that.
And I think we talked a little bit more. We relaxed with our friends. Everybody started coming downstairs because we needed to go run some errands. And then we left to go eat. And I think when we came back, you and I had this kind of...
You just basically came up to me on the couch.
Yeah.
And you sat next to me and you started to cry a little bit.
I'm a crybabe.
You said, I'm sorry if I'm ruining these experiences for you. And I said, you're not ruining anything. I said, I know how you are and I completely understand. I said, the only reason why I'm upset is because you just didn't communicate with me.
Yeah.
That
See,
was the only part that I was upset about.
that's so sweet. I'm a little crybaby. I can't help it, guys.
So completely understood where you were coming
Yeah.
from. And I was willing to take that accountability and I was apologetic.
Yeah.
But I was upset because you just didn't communicate it with me. And the whole thing could have been avoided had you just said something in the moment.
I don't really know how to, I don't like his reactions sometimes, even though I know they're just a brief reaction. I don't like them because they'll not trigger. I don't want to use that word trigger, but it makes me want to fight back because he can say something very innocently and I can take it like, oh really? Do we really want to go there?
When she's upset
I'm
and feeling sensitive, it doesn't really matter what is said. It's going to get taken the wrong way.
I'm going to take it. So we talked about it and then I was like, look, tonight we're going to talk as situations happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we went to go have breakfast.
We went to have breakfast Saturday morning,
all
which
our
was nice.
friends,
We did a little grocery shopping to bring some much needed supplies
we
back to the
needed-
house.
Yes, because, oh my gosh. The party was BYOB,
BYOB. Bring a side or
shareable
food,
snack.
something, anything.
a shareable snack
Yeah.
or something.
Or a drink or
Or
something.
a drink, yeah. And
People did not disappoint.
they did not disappoint,
Wow.
but I didn't. So we had to go to the store. So we went to the store and we got some stuff and we come back and there's a pool.
There was a pool, and so everybody pretty much jumped in the pool, except for you and I, because we had to record our podcast. So get this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I brought everything. I got lights. I got mics. I got 4 mics with 4 mic stands. This stuff is heavy, man. Like, it's heavy. And I lugged it around. And I took it all apart and I set it all up to be this beautiful space. And we sat down and we recorded. The problem is that we're out in the hill country and we didn't have the strongest of signal. And the recording messed up towards the end and erased everything. And so everything that we recorded is gone. And so we decided, you know what? We're just going to...
And we'll do a longer one.
And we'll do this show for Wednesday and just recap the whole thing. And it'll be longer than our normal 30-minute quickie episode that we do on Wednesdays.
Yes.
So that's what you're witnessing here is the recap, the revival from what we lost. But that was after we did an hour of stuff.
So everybody went to the pool while we did that.
Yeah.
And then
when we finished, everybody was coming back and I put everything away.
Like, how was it?
And I had to explain to everybody that it did not go well. So then after that, everybody's, okay, it must be nap time because it's 3:00. And it's 3:00, 3:30 in the afternoon. And supposedly friends wanted to show up by 4, certain friends, so that they can hobnob and have a good time with us. So I was like, we don't have much time. And you were like, let's go take a nap. I said, okay, fine. So we go lay down in the bed.
Yes.
In the bedroom. And we did not sleep.
We didn't sleep.
We did the deed.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I started nodding off, that's when you looked at me and said, should we move furniture now? And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? So we didn't take a nap. We ended up just getting up.
Yeah.
And,
we got
and
up
moving furniture and getting everything ready.
Yeah, we moved furniture. We got the place all situated and started getting ready.
Yeah. And by the time all that was done, people started showing up. We had a few friends start showing up and it was real chill. We sat there and we hobnobbed for a bit.
We have friends that drove in from Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them in forever. And they drove up for this wonderful man.
You know what was really cool is they were one of the first couples that we actually met out in the wild, as so to speak.
Yes.
Because we were at the time, we were just dabbling in polyamory. And there was a girl that we were dating.
Yes.
Oh, we took out on a date.
I was like, we were not dating her.
No, we didn't.
We took her out on a date.
She wasn't a good experience. No. But while we were there at the table in front of us at this vanilla bar in this small town that we lived in were these two people. And they were with another couple. So you've got guy and girl couple here,
who started
guy and
off.
girl couple over there.
Yeah, so they got there, they were by themselves. And
Yeah.
then this other couple came in, and then they all swapped. And so
Yeah.
I'm nudging him. I'm like,
She got my attention.
swingers.
She's, I think they're swingers. And I was like, no, stop it. And then I noticed that they were moving between each other. And so, yeah, that's when my lovely bride here says, are you guys swingers?
And sure enough, they were.
It opened the conversation. We became fast friends, and it has been years now.
They had business cards.
They had business cards, swinger business cards. I was amazed by that. Of course, now we have
Our little
wrist
QR
doohickey
codes.
thing that people can scan. It's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, that was the first time I had ever seen a swinger business card. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
We became fast friends. We haven't seen them in 5 or 6 years. They actually made the trip to come hang out with us, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And we got to really start it off light. I had set this event up through Facebook groups that we belong to.
Yeah.
And we had a number of people RSVP. Now, I don't put too much significance into that number because, let's face facts, there's a lot of flakes in the lifestyle. And people say that they're going to do something, and they don't always do it.
And they get busy.
Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes they get busy. Sometimes they have anxiety, or sometimes they just decide to flake. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we had somewhere between 60 and 70 people RSVP saying they were going to go.
Yes.
And you were like, man, that's a big number. And I was like, it's not all those people are going to show up.
Yeah.
They showed up.
We
They
had
showed
at
up
least 60,
and more.
Yeah, we had at least 60 to 80 people at that house.
I think we were closer to the 80 side at one point.
And yeah, it's in the hill country. So there's a drive up into the house. People were parking 5 cars at a time, like blocking each other and whatnot, which is fine because we all knew somebody and we would just tell them to move their car or whatever. So yeah, people started trickling in, and they're trickling in, and we're noticing that it's just getting busier and busier. But the way it's set up was you come in, we had a kitchen, we had a living room, and the living room was pretty much a wide open space.
Yeah.
You go through a little hallway, and there's an outside door. You can go to the pool. You stay inside, go through the hallway, and you go up to a media room. And this media room is huge.
It was really cool.
And it
was really cool.
It has 10 chairs, and then it has an air mattress in the middle, and it was so much fun. Now, and then there was a yurt. I kept calling it a yurt.
It's a yurt.
Oh,
with
yurt.
A T.
I kept calling it a yurt.
It's a yurt.
So there was a yurt, and it had a bed out there. This was not a party for play, like for you to play. This was a party that if you wanted to play, there was rooms.
It was options, but it wasn't a DTF party.
Yeah, and this was not doors closed, private room type of thing. We are not those people. We're exhibitionists, we're voyeurs. So that was the only option. If you wanted to play, you're going to go to the yurt.
The yurt.
And zip it up. And that's about as private as it's going to get. Anything other than that, it's not going to be private. And so I don't think people were expecting that, but
I don't think that anybody really had expectations.
Yeah,
I think
some did. And I was like, that's your only option. You have to go out or go to your car.
Yeah.
That was pretty much.
It was interesting. People started to flood in as time went on.
We had some music going.
We did. We had music. There was a dance floor set. I didn't really see anybody dance. I got some lap dances, which is cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. All of a sudden, I got pulled to the center of the room with a chair, and I was told to sit down. In which case,
Big Booty did it.
You started the show.
Yeah.
And then Lizzie jumped out there and gave me an incredible lap dance. That was a lot of fun.
She's got a nice booty.
She's got a nice everything.
She's just freaking awesome, man.
She's a looker.
She is.
And so that was fun. Everybody watched that. I heard somebody say, 43 looks pretty good, doesn't it, Adam? Which that had me cracking up. People were...
That was our sexy friend with the heels.
Yeah.
That's who yelled.
She looked incredible, too. Yeah. That entire night it wasn't a blur because I wasn't drinking, but it was a lot for me because anxiety.
Okay.
Anxiety. Yeah. And a friend of mine always, every time she sees me and she sees that I have anxiety, she's like, why do you have anxiety? All these people.
Yeah.
They all know you.
Yeah.
And they like you. Obviously, they're here for your birthday.
Yeah.
And it's not the point. I know if I could if I could push that logic into my head, yeah, then maybe I wouldn't have anxiety. But that's the problem with anxiety is you're not logical in that moment. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And so obviously people are here and it's nice to know that these people are here for me. But at the same time, I'm like, man, this is a lot of people. And I feel like if people are showing up for me, I need to spend time with everybody, at least a little bit. And
Yeah.
so that kind of stresses me out, but I'm like, okay, let's do this. And so I really tried to spend time with everybody, even if it was just for a small
Yeah,
amount of
I think
time.
you did.
Yeah. And so I got to know everybody that was there, who was there, that sort of thing. And that was cool. That was cool. I didn't get to swim in the pool, but I know a lot of people did.
Oh, there was at least
Pool was a big hit.
there's about 12, maybe more people in that
In
pool.
an above ground pool.
An above ground pool. And I heard it got a little splashy in there.
I heard it got splashy, yeah.
Which is fine. Hey,
I wasn't there, but yeah, I heard that
I'm sure
pool
the
was
owners will
used
shock it up after.
for sexual reasons. But I will, if I may, for a bit, I do want to break into what it's like to throw a house party, because I've seen this
I would like, yeah.
spoken about before, and you and I have always said we can't speak on that because we threw a house party many years ago.
Not with this kind of community.
No, and it was very small, and we didn't know anybody. It was when we had pretty much, we're still new to the lifestyle.
So some tips.
Some tips.
Some tips if you're going to
Some
throw
tips,
this.
yes.
We're going to make this as friendly as possible because we're still live over here. So get a big enough place.
Yes.
Make sure you have good parking, which I think we did well.
Yeah.
I'm glad a friend suggested for everybody to do BYOB and bring a snack.
Yeah.
They did not disappoint.
They
so
did not.
I will tell you, everybody brought something.
Yeah. Nobody showed up empty-handed.
Dude, we even had cheeseburgers and nuggets. And
yeah,
it was
man.
amazing.
There was chicken nuggets.
It was really good. I feel like everything was good. I don't think I would do it again.
It's a lot. And primarily because we had it open to the community.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a select amount of people. It was open to everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever wanted to show.
And it got a little messy. And
A little messy.
It got a little messy. And you can't be behind every single person. So we had rooms that were not meant to be used. And although there were signs on there, people ignored that, which to me,
Yeah.
I had to get a little bit loud, which I don't like to do with people, but I had to do that a few times. So we did that.
We did.
Not fun.
Yeah. I say we, I didn't.
You didn't. He didn't know
I was
anything
shielded from a lot
he
of
was
that.
shielded from a lot. So
Yeah.
it was me and our other friends that we had to make sure people understood that, and they didn't. Bathrooms were disgusting.
Oh, man.
So I think if you're doing a house party, you need to make sure that you're always behind people cleaning, or you just make sure there's big trash cans around.
Yeah, big trash cans.
We didn't have big trash cans would have been good.
Very clear receptacle places, so people know where they can throw away stuff.
Luckily, Lori was back there and she was just cleaning. And
Right.
so it helped like tremendously.
Totally.
But no one was doing bathrooms. Sheets were messy.
Sheets were messy.
Those were the
Sheets had
sheets
to be
we were
washed a
sleeping
few
on. So I
times.
had to wash while the party was going on. I had to wash. I will say everybody was anybody who got intoxicated did not cause a scene, which I never thought I knew that was going to happen because we've partied with these people before.
Yeah.
We are not drinkers, but we know how these people, how our community gets.
Yeah.
And they've never gotten to a point where it gets disrespectful ever. Amongst themselves, they might, but
And they're all pretty much responsible enough to know that they can take off.
Yeah, and they do, and they did. So yeah, the sheets got messy. So I should have gotten like waterproof mattress covers or something, but I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And so that
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah. When you go to a club, they change the sheets, and so stuff like that.
Every time they get used.
I will say, as adults, we should know when something is sweaty and we're not at our best. I think hygiene came into account at a lot of areas that we were in the house.
And it
was hot.
It was hot in there. That many people, it starts getting real warm. And you know how these things go. I don't even have to break it down for you guys. You guys know what happens when people get hot and sweaty and things get sexual. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not the greatest thing, but I will say, for the most part, 90% of the people that were there were very responsible. They cleaned up after themselves.
Yeah.
They did their best to respect the house and respect everything
Oh,
around
yeah.
them.
The
and have their
house
fun.
was fine.
But you're always going to have a few that don't really clean up after themselves. They just figure, oh, I'm going to throw this here. I'll leave these cans here, that sort of thing. It's not a worry of theirs. And then, of course, the more they drink, the more they forget that they
Right.
left certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
You find used condoms all over the place.
Good.
No bueno.
No bueno. I was not happy about that.
Yeah. So there was.
I was not happy about that, and I was not happy about the cans in the little tiny trash cans in the bathroom.
Oh,
Come on, homies. You really couldn't have picked that up?
well,
Like-
you know.
So Mister's gonna be really nice about everything.
there's a certain decorum that you should have when you go to house parties.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
Yes.
But not everybody was raised the same way.
No.
So what one person thinks is good decorum for a house party, another person may not.
Yeah.
They may have much looser standards. So I can't really get upset about it. I can get upset about it, but I'm not going to get upset about it because for the most part, it was a very successful party. It
Right.
wasn't as bad as it could have been.
I agree.
And there was no drama. Everybody was happy. It was a good time.
Everybody
It was a
had
good
a good time. No, we had people outside having fun,
Yeah.
just relaxing. And I wanted it like that. I wanted people from different communities to meet each other. And they did.
Yeah. There was a lot of people who made new friends,
Made
which
new
is cool.
friends, what I wanted. And there's a lot of people that, believe it or not, we hadn't even met.
Yeah.
So these people saw the party and they saw everything that was going on and that had been posted, and they decided they wanted to come. And I thought that was nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was nice because
cool.
there was, so we met people that were planning on hanging out with later.
Yeah.
Later.
And I always like to meet people that we've seen each other in the groups, but we've never actually talked. And all of a sudden we just see each other and it's like, hey, I remember you, or I've met you before.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to you once before. It's nice to finally meet you. Those kind of moments are always fun because it's, oh, wow, I just made a new connection.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, I will say that I was planning on having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sexually.
Yes, because
like,
we had already planned that it was going to
Yeah,
be a
so
him for all.
it was going to be a free for all for me. It was going to be my hall pass evening. I could get away with anything and it would be fine. But I did not have any kind of sexual time with anybody but my wife here. And it wasn't for any other reason except for the fact that, I don't know, I think part of it was me just being nervous. There
Yeah.
were some people that I was interested in playing with, but I just didn't feel like a very well-packed party would have been the best experience for that with those people that I wanted to have fun with. If it was somebody that I've had fun with before, and it wasn't the first time and we enjoyed it, et cetera, being at a packed party wouldn't have bothered me. But if I'm going to have fun with somebody for the very first time, being at a packed party with the door wide open, et cetera.
But you wouldn't have had to have the door open.
I wouldn't have had to, but nonetheless, that's distraction out there. There's a lot going on, and you're my comfort.
Yeah.
And we love to put on shows.
Yeah.
And so there was this multimedia room. If you go upstairs, there's this huge media room where they have like little arcade games and they have movie theater style chairs. And they're in this half circle or the semicircle, and it's facing the wall. And on the wall is this huge projection screen where they're projecting movies. And below that is this very solid air mattress with sheets and pillows. And anytime that we wanted to play, we wanted to put on a show, we would go up to that media room and we would get it on right there on the ground, on the mattress in front of the movie. So the first time we went up, they were watching Dazed and Confused, which is just a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I love that movie. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen Dazed and Confused,
You got to.
great movie.
Yeah.
But I know that movie very well. I know all the words to it. And so that was really difficult because that was our first show of the night. We got up there. Everybody was out there. They were watching the movie. And we're basically having sex in front of all these people. And so everybody was excited because they're watching a good movie and they're watching a show. But it was difficult for me because I kept saying the lines from the movie. It was really good.
I was like,
It's a good movie.
focus. But it was a really good movie, and everyone's there.
It was really fun to put on that show for people.
Yeah. And I will say also, I think the people that you wanted to play with, once it got toward the end of the night, everybody was already like in their zone.
Sure.
They were already in their, they had already got like, they were drinking and stuff. And
Loosened up.
Yeah. And you really you won't play with people who are too and talk. Just for the lack of respect for them. Like,
you don't know if you're getting full consent.
Yeah.
So if it's very obvious that they've had too much to drink, I won't even attempt it. I think I told you at one point there was somebody that I wanted to have sex with, and I was like, I think I'm going to take that person in the room. And then 5 minutes later, I saw her, and she was like almost falling over, like she couldn't stand up. And I was like, I don't think so. I'll wait. That's fine. Don't have to do that tonight. There was moments. I will tell you this. I had a new experience, okay? If you guys listen to the podcast at all, or if you ever have listened to the podcast at all, you'll know that I am hypersexual. I have a very high sex drive. I love sex all the time. I'm always thinking about sex. It's not as creepy as I'm making it sound, and believe it or not, there's a lot of us. But I am very hypersexual, and I don't have any problems usually getting turned on and staying turned on to perform in front of people and that sort of thing. But a couple weeks ago, we were meeting up with a couple, and for some reason, I just could not get out of my head. And because whenever that happens, if I can't stop thinking up here, I can't make this work down here. You know what I mean? And so because of that, we were going to have a busy weekend that weekend as far as playtime was concerned. And so I turned to a friend of mine who I know has certain pills. They're not the blue ones.
They're not prescribed. These are like online.
Yeah. And so apparently this one is like a hybrid of it's like a Viagra and a Cialis put together.
Right.
Now, what that means for me, I have no idea because I've never used these things. But I took one over the weekend. I took one Friday night, and I was told not to take two consecutively, like 2 days in a row, because you take one and it lasts up to 36 hours. Now, that doesn't mean that you stay solid for 36 hours. What it means is that you just you can be all up in your mind and you still won't have that problem getting that going. You know what I mean? Like, you're ready to go. And so every time it was time to play, I was ready to go with no problems. And when it was time to finish, I finished. And we were good. So I will say, while it's not something that I need to use often, whenever I know that we're having like a huge bash, or it's like an orgy, or it's a big play party where I know I'm going to be distracted, I'm definitely taking one of those just to take my mind out of it so I can still have fun.
Yeah.
So just to let you guys know out there, if you've never used them before, they're interesting. I'm not going to lie. It works. It does work.
And you can get them online.
Yeah. So that's something. If you guys ever want more information about it, hit us up or hit me up. And I may do a quickie show about it one time too. And I'll let you guys know about that. But that I found really interesting. And so it was very easy to, at one point, I think we were on the couch and you were down there in between my legs in front of everybody doing your thing. And that was fun. That was cool.
That was fun.
That was at the end of the night. Stuff like that, where normally with all of these people watching, it's a turn on. But if I'm in my head, that's difficult to do.
And it's easier for me. It's easy for me. I can block out everybody and anybody.
Yeah.
I can still have conversations while we're doing that. So
yeah.
I do not have a problem. I don't get distracted. But it was fun. We talked to a lot of new people. We discussed the podcast with a lot of new people.
We did. And that was the cool thing about it, was a lot of the people that came to the party know us because of the podcast. There are a lot of listeners. And I thought that was really cool. And that's actually a really good transition for those who are listening. You have heard we're having some big changes as far as the podcast is concerned, positive changes, really good changes. And one of them is that we are now being featured on an adult radio station called Full Swap Radio, and it's fullswapradio.com. It's not always easy to find good ones of substance.
No.
And so he basically has worked with a lot of different podcasters to get their show onto his streaming channel. So not only can you find us on all of the major platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on it. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok. And you can now find us at fullswapradio.com, where, you can listen to other adult podcasts. Some are different formats than ours. Some are different arenas of ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah.
They're all different, but they're all within this realm for adults only. And so if you haven't checked it out, give it a shot. Check it out at fullswapradio.com, because there's actually a lot that you can see out there. It's really cool. So we're very happy to be a part of that's going to be picked up nationally, which is cool. And we're just moseying our way down and seeing how the rest of this is going to go. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put the kibosh on it. I feel like we've broken down the entire thing.
I think we did.
Excuse our glasses. So we're wearing glasses right now because we're trying to recover from the weekend. We're trying to recover as far as sleep is concerned and just all around.
Yeah, I had, especially like today, he had his day off, but I did not. I had to run around doing errands and meet up with somebody. Coming back, we started doing this, and I was like, oh my, I'm so tired. But that is what cedar fever. I know a few of us got it. A lot of people call it the swinger flu. This is cedar fever.
Yeah, and that's something you have to keep in mind whenever you guys go out to any kind of events, especially house parties. If you're sucking face with strangers, understand you can get sick.
Yeah.
And I always tell my lovely lady here, if we know that something's coming, as far as an event is concerned, start taking airborne or start taking some sort of preventative that you can be okay afterwards. She has a weaker immune system than I do. I hardly ever get sick. We're on the mend. We're on the recovery. We're both going to be back at work tomorrow. But anyhow, really had a great weekend. I had a great birthday. I owe it all to my very good friends. I owe it all to you. You really did an amazing job. I appreciate that. Everything that you put into it. It was spectacular. You, amazingly enough, you never disappoint. Like, you go above and beyond. You always have since the first birthday you threw me when I turned 29.
Yeah, I remember
and you threw that big old karaoke bash. That was an incredible night. And every single birthday after that has been incredible.
And we celebrate him all month long.
I'm not going to lie. I do ham it up for the entire month of August.
The kids love that.
Yeah, we have a good time. So for those of you who are listening and you were at the party, thank you very much for joining us. For those of you listening and those of you who are watching via TikTok and YouTube and all that good stuff, thank you for staying with us, for tuning in. And we hope that you guys enjoy our show. We hope that you guys continue listening to us. Share with friends. I always wanted to be that guy that said, can subscribe on YouTube. Now I can say it. Like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. If you listen to us on any of the platforms, give us a review. We would love it. It definitely helps. We are on a roll right now. We're trying to make this big. And it's going to be big.
We can only do it with y'all's help.
We can only do it with y'all's help.
Yes.
And we really appreciate everybody that's involved in helping us reach our goals. So thank you guys out there. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.